Hi guys, you're welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you are welcome. My name is Akai. Today we are coming to learn how to draft this pattern, this elegant dress pattern. So if that's what you want to learn, let's get right into the video. They say a keyhole at the top where the white fabric is. We are drafting only the top part. The down part is flare. We'll just cut it full flare. So let's get right into the video. So we'll use the plain fabric for the top. So I have my pattern paper, the back panel and the front. So we'll cut the front first before we cut the back. So the measurement we are working with, the across back, we'll use 10 inches. I've been telling you, I don't use the patient's measurements. I use 10 or 11. So after that, I'll trim the hem before I'll fix my sleeve. So I'm marking 10 inches. Then I'll come down. The chest line is 8 inches. So the back is 10, chest line 8 inches. Then I'll rule a line. Then connect the line. Yes, that's what I'm making now. I'm ruling the line from the shoulder to the chest line is 8. Is 8, like so. Then from the shoulder to the nipple is 12 and a half. The person is a little bit busty, so shoulder to nipple is 12 inches, shoulder to underbust is 15 and a half, shoulder to waist is 19. So that's what I'm marking, 12 and a half shoulder to nipple, then 15 and a half shoulder to underbust, then shoulder to waist is 19 inches. So I'll mark it and connect all the lines, then we cut. So that's the shoulder to waist, 19 inches. So I'll connect the lines, then we do the measurements. So I've connected the underbust, the nipple, then the underbust and the waist. So that's it. So nipple to nipple is 9 inches, but I'll add half an inch sewing allowance, so it will be 10. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I'll use 5 inches to mark the nipple to nipple. So 10 sewing allowance half, that is why it's 10, but it's supposed to be 9. So I'll mark. So we are marking the yoke. The yoke is 7 inches, so we'll deduct that one from it. So that's the one I've ruled the line. The yoke is 7 inches, so that's it. I've connected to the side. Then nipple to nipple. So the nipple, that's the bust point. The nipple to nipple is 9 inches. I'll add half an inch, so it will be 10. So 5 divided by 2 is 5. So I've marked the 5. Then the dart allowance is 8 inches. That means divided by 2 is 4. But I've added sewing allowance half, so it's 9. So I'm marking 4 and a half at the bottom and the waist and the underbust. Then the dart interval is 2 inches. The dart intake. So we'll mark 2 inches. So I've marked that one. I'll connect the lines to the nipple. So that's what I'm connecting, the waist and the underbust. Then I'll connect it to the nipple. So that's it. I'll connect it to the nipple like so. Yeah. Then we'll shape it. We'll curve it to the nipple. Then the upper part, that one will go in 4 and a half. We'll measure 4 and a half. Then we connect the line. The camera didn't show that part. Please forgive me. It's 4 and a half. Then we connect it. Then we measure in between the middle or the center. We measure 1 and a half. Then we connect that line to the 1 and a half. I hope I'm making sense. Like so. Yes. So we connect the 1 and a half like so. Yeah. So we have our shape now. Then we'll use the measurement to shape the size. So that's the keyhole there. So that one will cut the yoke before we do. So the center front, you go down by 1.5 inch, then you curve it together sweetheart shape. That's what I'm doing there. So 1.5. If you want it lower, you want more cleavage, you go down by 2 or 2.5, but 1.5 is okay. So now we use the measurement. No, we are doing the yoke. The neck is 3 inches, the width is 3 inches, because we'll put the tunic color on it, like a bishop color will be on the top. So 3 inches, then we come down to 3 inches. So that's what I'm connecting, 3. So 3 inches, you go down 3 inches, then I connect the line. Then I'll go down at the shoulder 1 inch and connect, like we have to slant the shoulder. So that's what I'm marking down. I go down by 1 inch, then I slant it, then I'll connect the hammer and cut it. So we are coming to cut the yoke. So that's it. So I will use the measurement. The bust is 44, divided by 2 is 11. Then we had 1.5 sewing allowance. Then the waist is 36, is 9, divided by 2 is 9, divided by 4 is 9, sorry. Then you do the 9, then you add your dart 2 inches, then the sewing allowance 1.5. So that's what I'm marking, basic, the way we've been doing it often. So you mark the waist, you add the sewing allowance and the dart allowance, then you mark then after that we finish, then we cut it, then we go to the back panel. So just easy and simple, it doesn't take too much time. So I'm cutting. So we finish with the front pattern, so we are now cutting the paper. After that we'll do a part 2 of the cutting and sewing of the main fabric. So we use the pattern to cut the main fabric. So I've cut the armhole. Yeah, I didn't iron the paper before using, that's why the paper is rolling up, but I manage it. So now we'll cut the yoke. Yeah, so I'm cutting the yoke. After that, then I'll cut the dart, the princess dart or the bust. Yeah, then we go to the back panel. It's very easy and simple. Even a beginner can do this. So I'm cutting everything. After that, then we do the back panel. So that's it, the front is ready. We'll put it aside, then we cut the front. So that's it. We'll now shape the keyhole. So we'll measure from the neck, from the upper part of the neck down 3 inches. Then we use the rest of the fabric to cut the keyhole. So 3 inches. The hole is a little bigger. I decided I want to make it 2, but I said it's 3, so I'll make it 3 inches. So from the neck down is 3 inches. So that's what I've marked. So I'll connect it to the side, 3 inches. I'll connect it to the side, mark it, then we cut. So that's what I've connected. Then I'll cut, then we cut the back. Then our back our pattern is ready. You can sew some and take it to church. So that's it. We'll now cut the back. When you are cutting your yoke, make sure you add sewing allowance. So you can add about, this one is not, it doesn't go in the bustier. You put it on it, like it will overlap. So when you are cutting, make sure you add about 2 inches to it before you cut the main fabric, so that it will short. So that the zip line, you remember the back is, the shoulder is 10 inches. We go down by 8 inches. That's a last point. So I'm connecting the lines. After that, then I'll give it a curve to connect to the armhole, like so. So I've connected. Now we'll make our dart. The dart interval is 8 inches. Then the dart is 2 inches. Then we mark it, we divide it into 2, 1, 1. Then we connect it to the top. The neck is 3 inches. Then you come down 1 inch, because we put a color on it. It's not just a normal neck, no. So you don't have to go down too much. It's only 1 inch in length or depth, 1 inch. Then the width is 3 inches. So we connect the 1 inch that we drop at the shoulder. So we slant it like so. So I'm marking the dart at the back. So I'll measure from the neck inward or outward 2 inches. Then I'll connect the dart like so. I'll connect a straight line. That's the middle of the dart, or the center dart. So we connect the side 2 to the line like so. Then you connect the other side. When you are sewing it, make sure you sew it up. Then you leave from the shoulder about 1 inch or 1.5 inch, so that your back will not fold. That's how I make my dart, so that you won't get a fold at the back, or your back will not be bulky. So I'm cutting it now. So after that, then we do a part 2 of the video of cutting and sewing. So I'm cutting the zip line, I'm dividing it. That's the center back of the top. So I'm notching the dart. So that's all for the pattern. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want us to learn something, you can drop it at the comment section below, and I will create a video on that, so that we all learn together. Thank you for watching. Please try and watch the part 2. So that's how you sew your dart. So that's all for the pattern drafting. Thank you. Bye bye.